Hey guys, welcome back to the Woolen Homestead. This is a video podcast all about knitting, spinning, and hand dyeing yarn. My name is Tiffany and I'm coming to you from Midland, Michigan. You can find me as the Woolen Homestead on various social media, as well as the yarn that my husband and I dye at thewoolenhomestead.etsy.com. Hello everybody and welcome back. It's good to see you guys again, and hello if you're a new viewer. Today is Monday, January 8th, 2018, and it is so good to be back with you guys. So, let's see here. I've got a bit of group news today, finished object, works in progress. I'm gonna show you my scrappy blankets, some spinning. I've got some shop news, and then of course life stuff at the end. So let's get into it. As far as group news, there is a Ravelry group, which you can find by searching the Woolen Homestead under the groups tab in Ravelry. And you will see that we have a couple of knit-alongs going on. So we have the year-long knit-along, which is the Basket of Mittens Cal. It's co-hosted with Carrie, who is my Wool Mitten. You can find her on Instagram. And then she's also on Ravelry. And then we also have the Battle of the Brioche knit-along, which is a 2-month knit-along. So from January until March, we'll be knitting brioche, and there's no finished objects thread. You just, it's more of going through the process of knitting brioche. And then, let's see, yeah, that'll be until the end of February. And then we also have Show Your Woolen Homestead Pride. So if you have knitted with our yarn or have are currently knitting with it, go ahead and pop over in there and post a picture of it. We'd love to see it. Also, you can feel free to tag us on Instagram. We love seeing pictures of when you guys have knit with our yarn. And then there's also an introductions thread, so you can come say hi, let us know who you are and where you're from. And then we also have an ask away thread. So any questions that you have about the podcast, about us, about dyeing, anything, feel free to put it in there. So, and then I also want to make a quick mention. I have Ella up here with me. Ella is my dog, one of my dogs. And she is up here hanging out with me, but she has her elk antler out, and she's been chewing on it. And so sorry if you can hear that in the background. I'm not quite sure if you'll be able to. But she's having a blast with it, so don't really want to stop her. So what I've got this week is a finished object. I touched on this last week, but I never got to show it. This is a test knit that I did for Amber, who is Dear Emma Rae. And this is a hat that's bulky, and it's called Symmetry. And so what's really cool is it has this like slip stitch detail all the way up and over the back. And then for the decreases, there's a little bit of the slip stitch detail as well. So I knit this out of Lopi. It's a bulky weight yarn, or it's a bulky weight yarn, and it's a bulky weight project. And it's really, really cute. It's supposed to have a little bit of a slouch to it, and I'm really, really loving it. She did a great job on the pattern. Her Instagram feed is gorgeous. If you want to go check it out, it's Dear Emma Rae, and it's just really, really pretty, and her whole style is very much with what her Instagram feed is, and so it's just really nice. So the way she has it styled in the pattern is to wear it like this with the line up the middle, but I personally have liked wearing it like this, where you have them up the sides, because it's just kind of like a fun little detail on the side. So I really, really like this a lot. I just think it's really, really cute, and it's a super, super quick knit, and she did a great job on the pattern. So, and this was, I'm not sure if this is her first pattern, but it was my first time test knitting, and so that was really fun. So I thought, you know, I really loved the hat, and I thought I could, you know, commit to a bulky weight project, especially a hat. So I'm really glad I did it. It was a really fun experience, and I really, really like this hat. So yeah, this will be coming out, I'm not sure when it's coming out actually, but it should be out, I would imagine, fairly soon. But because it's still in testing. It'll be in testing, I think, until the 14th. So yeah, we'll know more then. But yeah, go give her a follow on Instagram, and then you'll know when it comes out. So yeah, that is the Symmetry hat. And then let's see here. So for my works in progress, I have my 'Twas the Night Before Christmas socks, which are by Danny with little bobbins. And I'll show you what I've got going on. So these are my 2 yarn cakes. And this is our Solstice Twilight colorway. This is one of Ethan's, and oh my gosh, I'm still in love with this. This is my favorite colorway to date. It is, hands down. I love it. And I do have more news about this colorway. We don't have any currently in the shop, but I will talk about that in shop news. But I am loving this. So I split those into two, but I didn't want to do two at the same time, like on a circular needle. I did want to do two at a time on two separate DBNs though. So here's the first sock. And this is how far I am. And I just think it's so beautiful. I love those little trees going up and down. I love it with the speckles. It's great, and I really love this colorway a lot. So yeah, I'm really excited with how far I'm getting on this pattern. And then I also, a while ago, I did cast on the second sock over here. There's a little tree coming in. But yeah, I cast this on so that way, so I wouldn't have to deal with any second sock syndrome. And that way it's kind of like doing two at a time. So basically once I get to where I need to do the heel on this one, I'm gonna catch up on that other one. So yeah, I am really loving it. These were my Christmas Eve cast on socks as well. And yeah, I really love this pattern. It's enough interest to not be, you know, just like how sometimes vanilla socks can kind of get a little boring depending on, you know, like if you're at the post office, you need something to knit on. It's really great to have just a plain vanilla sock, but sometimes you want something with a little bit of interest, but not too hard. And it's exactly what this pattern is. I adore it so much. So that is that. And then my next work in progress is one that I cast on, but I'm going to rip it back out and start over. So my Gin and Tonic sweater by Thea Coleman, I had cast on like the cuff, and I probably got like 4 rows in, and then I stopped because I really wanted to cast it on Christmas Day. I was ready to do it. I had planned to do it on the 1st, and then I wanted to cast it on, then I didn't swatch. And so I got about 4 rows in, and then I stopped working on it. And then I was watching the Off Our Needles on Craftsy, which has the Grocery Girls. I was watching their video, and it was about swatching. And I was listening to it, and they were just talking about how important it is, and you know, that even with just from washing your yarn, that you can just know what the fabric's gonna be like, what it's gonna do, how it's gonna play. And even that, you know, different yarns can act differently. So if it's not a yarn that you've used, it's just nice to swatch. So I decided to be a good girl, and I'm ripping out the cuff that I did, and I started to swatch this morning. So there's my little swatch, and it's just started. I literally just started this morning. So I'm gonna be a big girl and a good girl and do what I'm supposed to. Oh, and I also wanted to show you guys this trick that I learned for swatching. I learned this from Tiny Fiber Studio, who has a podcast. And on one of your yarn tails, if you, actually, I don't know if I did learn this from her. I don't remember where I learned this from. She might have showed a different trick now that I think about it. And this might have been a trick from somebody else, but I'm not sure. But what you do is you take your tail and you put in knots for how many, like what the size number is. So this, I'm using a size US 6, so I put in 6 little knots. I just think that's the coolest idea, because then if you forget, you know what I mean? If it's been a while since, you know, you looked at both swatches, you'll know, you know, which was what. So I'm really happy about that. So that's the Gin and Tonic sweater by Thea Coleman. So hopefully I will have that swatch done. I'd like to get that done today or tomorrow, between today and tomorrow at least, and get it blocked and just see where it goes from there. So yeah, that's what that is. And today I'm drinking a chai latte that I actually made by myself at home. And it's out of this really sweet little mug that Ethan got me for Christmas, which this was actually, I think, like a Meijer or Walmart find. It's really cute though. I love it. The next product that I want to show you are my Songbird Mittens. This is a pattern by Erica Hoyser. and I love them. Actually getting this out really makes me want to work on them right now. Don't you love that when you get out a project that you haven't looked at in a while and you really want to work on it? That's how I feel about these mittens. I love it so much. So the last time I showed these was on one of the vlogs during Vlogmas, and I'll show this a little closer. And then this little charm is from Itty Bitty Delights on Etsy. I love it, little cinnamon roll. And yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm so obsessed. And look at the back. Ugh, it's so pretty. So I'm really, really, really loving the color work. How I have been doing my color work is the way that Woolen Vine had shown on one of her videos on her YouTube channel. And so you hold both yarns in your left hand, and then your fingers kind of like spread the yarns apart, and then you can pick from each one that way. And I have really liked that technique. I was doing it where one hand holds one color and one hand holds the other color, but I like this a lot. A lot. So yes. Oh, and the yarn that I'm using, this is actually our yarn. This is one of the undyed bases. This is our Sturdy Sock base. So that's it, undyed. And then this is Sturdy Sock with just a yarn that I had dyed. It's got like a blue base, but then it's got little like tiny red flecks in it. So they kind of look purpley. But yeah, that's what I'm using for it. So it is a superwash yarn, which I know is not the best thing to use for color work mittens, but I just kind of wanted to give it a shot with yarn that I already had, get used to color work. I've done a few color work projects, but nothing with fingering weight and like that heavy, I guess. I did one cowl way back when, my first ever color work project, but I had used acrylic, and it ended up really really sad because nothing would black out. My tension was bad, and so yeah, and that was a couple of years ago. So I'm glad to be starting, kind of getting back into it, and getting used to color work again, because I love it. And then the next project that I want to show you guys, this is in my bag from Antonella, who's Cozy Posy Yarn Company. And then this bag was given to me by my friend Linda. She had made this for me, and she lives in Canada, so she put a little Canadian flag. But I just love that it has mustaches on it. It's so cute. So this is my Excuse Me shawl, which honestly I have not been working on. I don't know why. I really don't, but I've kind of been, I don't know, it's not that I don't want to work on it, but I just haven't really been like pulled to it. But now that I get it out, I kind of want to work on it. Typical. So let's see. Yeah, I did not get much done since the last time I showed you this, but it hasn't been shown in a long time either, so I thought I'd show you guys again. But this is what I've got going on it so far, and this is all out of Woolen Homestead yarn. So, like the color in the back is just this like one-of-a-kind color, but it's kind of like almost iridescent in a way. I'll show you in the skein. I just think it's really, really neat. But I thought that would be a really cool like contrasting color for it. The blue is Life is the Bubbles, and that's on Sturdy Sock. And then this pinky yellowy orange is Aurora, and that's on MCN. So yeah. Okay, now I want to work on this again. This one is just a little bit harder for me to work on at the moment, like mindlessly, because I still have to, because I don't work on it enough that I kind of have to like, not relearn how to do the brioche, but just remember like how to do some of the decreases and stuff like that. Because I forget where to put them, and I know that if I work on this consistently for a little while, that I should be able to get it down where I probably won't even need to really pay attention to it. So that would be cool. So next up, I want to show you my scrap blankets. I thought that maybe I would do like once a month I show you my scrap blankets, like Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady. I know she did that. And that way they get shown consistently, but not every single time, because I don't always work on them. But lately I have been. I've just been really, really, really into working on them. So I want to try to put little markers on ones like after this, you know, when I finish them, because I don't remember what I've showed you and what I haven't. So I'm just gonna hold it up and show you all the pretties, but that way I can show you what I've put in it. But I'm working on one right now, and this is some yarn that, this is one that I had dyed a long time ago, and I made a pair of socks for Ethan out of it. And I'm just knitting the extra into this. And then, I did talk about last time about how I have these new signature needles, and I want to work on this so much more now that I have those. It's awesome. It's really awesome. And also I know that once spring and summer comes, I'm not going to be working on this because it's so big and warm, which is good. But so here is the blanket. And I cannot tell what I'm showing you guys, so sorry. Oop. Just really makes me happy. So yeah, that's the blanket. I love it. How I do my blanket is, I want to find that needle because I do not want to get poked in the leg because they're the stiletto ones. So how I do my stitches is I cast on, well, I'll show you for example how I would do this. Like if I was going to do this square right here, fill this one in, I would pick up, let's see, it's hard to do this backwards. I would pick up over here. I would pick up 24 stitches, and then I pick up one in the middle right here, and then I pick up 24 stitches. So that equals 49. And then, so I knit through, and then once I get to, depending if I'm looking at the back or the front, I feel like usually I'm looking at the back. So what I will do is once I get to that middle stitch, if I'm looking at the back, yeah, because I pick them up while looking at the front, and then I knit across the first row while looking at the back. When I get to this stitch from the wrong side, I purl that, so that way when I go through the front, I can do the slip stitches and do that center double decrease that gives it that nice line. And I really like doing that. So that's how I do that, because then once you get going, that's where you would purl it anyways, is right where the decrease is. So I just always make sure that I do it on that stitch right in the middle. Then, since I also haven't shown this in a while either, I might as well show it. I have a, well, it's not even tied up. This is my Cozy Memories journal. And I originally got this idea from Shauna of Adelaide Cottage. And like way, way back, she had talked about this. And basically what I'm doing is I'm taking scraps of every square that I put in this blanket, and I put it in here with a little bit of washi tape, and I say what the yarn name is, the colorway. I say if I used it for a project for myself or for my mom, or for, like these were in Ethan's socks. I also like to say if it's from my stash, or if I went and bought the yarn at a certain yarn shop. Like, you know, I get a little in depth with it, but you obviously could do it any way you wanted to. But that's just kind of how I do it, and I think it's fun. Like I also will put, like maybe I did a mini skein swap, so I say who it was from, or you know, maybe I did a swap with just a regular swap and they sent me some minis and things like that. But yeah, and then I'll say, you know, if I used it in a certain project, and I really like this. Then as I got going on, I think it was actually Kay, who she puts 2 to a page. I was like, that makes way more sense. So I started doing that. And I like that so much better because this isn't that big. And I still have quite a bit of squares to put in. So yeah, that is that. And I got this journal forever ago. I think it was my 18th or 19th birthday from my best friend Stephanie, and she watches, so hi Steph. And we're journal buddies. We always loved going to Barnes & Noble and looking at the journals, so she got me that, and I just love it. It's perfect. So my other scrap blanket is my granny stripe blanket. And that is crochet, and it is living in this beautiful bag that my mother-in-law made me for Christmas. And it's big and it's gorgeous and I love it, and it's fleecy. And it has this little gem on it and I love it. It's got my initials on it, or my initial, it's got a T on it. And this is my blanket. This was a big project for me over Christmas and Advent in general. Like I worked on this a lot. And now this is another one and I'm pulling it out. I want to work on it right now. Oh, I'm pulling it out. I'm literally pulling it out as we speak. But so this is how big it is. Oh my gosh, this is really grown. Holy cow. I'm like shocked myself. This is crazy. So, and mine is 50 inches wide because I did not want to make one of those really big blankets. I just wanted like a throw size. So I just measured the size, or I looked up, I Googled the size of a throw and it said it was 50 inches, and that's how much I cast on, or hooked on, I don't know, chained on. I don't know what I'm saying. So right here is my little marker. So that's how much I got done since the last time I saw. Or last time I showed you guys. Oh, I just love it so much. So much. And I don't know what happened to the hook. I was a good girl and I put it in the front pocket so I wouldn't lose it. But I am using the, I think it's called Clover Armor. It is Clover, but I think it's called Armor. This is a size C hook. And I adore this. I got this on Amazon. It's fantastic. It's awesome. Cannot recommend it highly enough. So I usually, what I will do for these is I will make a magic cake ball and then work from it. But lately I've just been kind of grabbing them and putting them in. So, and just magic knotting them. But I really do want to make one of those magic cake balls because, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. I think what I might do for this one is maybe hand wind it the next ball, because I wouldn't have to make it too big or not or anything, you know. I was actually just commenting on Instagram on October Fiber House Arts. October House Fiber Arts, that's what it is. I was talking to her and she had posted a picture of a hand-wound ball that she was knitting from, and she was just saying there's something about them. And I totally agreed. I was commenting back like, I love them. And I don't know what it is. Do you guys like them too? Like, I don't know. It's like, these are super convenient, you know, to just make up little cakes. But sometimes just hand-wound ball is so neat. So yeah, that is it for the scrappy projects. Next, I'm gonna go into spinning. For my spinning, I just grabbed my flyer and I thought I would show you what I've gotten done. So this is my kind of my experiment project where I am taking a 100% merino, 2 braids of it, and knitting socks from it. So I'm really excited to do this, and I just think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm working on getting a 3-ply by Navajo plying it. And these are the rest of the nests that I'll be spinning up into it. So I'm really excited about that. They're just kind of hanging out up here now. And yeah, I'm really curious to see how this goes. I actually have a pair of 100% merino socks that are hand spun, but they were only 2-plied. And I've been wearing them. Obviously I just started wearing them and they're so comfy, but I'm really curious to see how those last. So I think that'll kind of give me a little bit of a indication as to how they're gonna wear. So yeah, that's my spinning. I spin, you can see my wheel right here. I spin on an Ashford Kiwi 2. I love it. It's great. It's a really good like introductory wheel because it's not as expensive as the others. I love it. Yeah, and then this is the braid that I'm going to be using for the other sock. So I'm really excited about that. And the braid comes from Fox and Flower on Etsy. This was a Christmas gift from 2016. And it's 100% merino, 4 ounces, 100 grams, and the name is Cheshire. So yeah, that is it for spinning. Then next I'm gonna go into shop news. So we will be having a shop update this Friday. We were kind of not sure what was gonna happen. Ethan's, actually it's today, is his first day back. He's got classes, he's doing business school. So today's the first day, and we weren't quite sure what his like class load was gonna be, like the homework load. And so he's gonna be kind of switching around days that he's dyeing yarn. So he's just probably gonna do like maybe like 4 skeins. It's nothing crazy that's gonna be in the update, but we really wanted to still have an update. So we're pretty sure what we're gonna do is Solstice Twilight, since you guys really love that colorway, and it sold out again, which was amazing. So, and that was this colorway, which this cake is falling apart on me. So that's Solstice Twilight, and we're also going to open, and I'm going to do that, I'm actually going to do that after I finish recording. So by the time this is uploaded onto YouTube, you can go onto our Etsy shop, and if you want, you can pre-order a skein of Solstice Twilight instead, if you want to do it that way. That way you're guaranteed a skein. We've never done pre-orders before, and we wanted to give it a shot. So we thought this would be a great chance to try it. And so you can either pre-order it, or if you want to give it a go, like I said, there's gonna be like 4 skeins in the shop this Friday. If you want to try for that, you can, but otherwise, if you wanna make sure that you get one, you can pre-order it. And we're hoping to get them out fairly quickly. We're gonna put like a 1 to 2 week processing on it, just in case something comes up, something like that. But generally, Ethan is so quick on that, and it will most likely be done and ready fairly soon, but just allow for 2 weeks at the most, just to be safe. So yeah, that's kind of how we're doing that, and we're only gonna pre-order just like 8 skeins. Just like I said, we've never done this before. We wanted to try it out and see how it would work. So we'll do that. So I'm gonna have those listed in the shop by the time this is uploaded. So if you want to go straight over there, there is a link in the description box where you can click right to our Etsy shop. And then next, I am going to show you what is in the shop. And I also thought it'd be fun to show you guys like some shawl pairings, because now that Ethan dyed up a bunch of tonals, I have been having so much fun going through what we've got and like making shawl pairings. It's just really fun. So first I'll show you what we have. So we have, this is on Sturdy Sock, and this is Purple Poppy. This is Back to the Fuchsia. Blueberry Crumb Cake, Earl Grey. This is all those really pretty speckles. So Fetch. This is on Singles. This is Baby It's Cold Outside. This is one of our new tonals. This is Stormy Night. This is Aurora on Sturdy Sock. This is another new tonal, Northern Pine. Sugar Plum Fairy on Sturdy Sock. Dragon Egg on Sturdy Sock. Candy Cornucopia on Sturdy Sock. Warm Sunrise Yellow on Sturdy Sock. Love that yellow. And Tranquil Blue on Sturdy Sock. Hagrid's Happy Hour on Polworth DK. And Dr. Filibuster's Fireworks on Polworth DK. So that is what is in the shop. Now I want to show you guys what I think would be really cute together. So I pretty much decided that Earl Grey and these tonals all go together. And I love it. So you could do Earl Grey and Northern Pine. You could do Earl Grey and Warm Sunrise Yellow. Oh, I love it. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Earl Grey and Stormy Night. Let me get the tags out of there. Earl Grey and Tranquil Blue. I seriously love all of them. Oh, I love it. You could also do Blueberry Crumb Cake in Warm Sunrise Yellow. For any of those like 2-color shawls or brioche projects, it's great. You can even do So Fetch and Tranquil Blue. These would be kind of cool. Dragon Egg and Warm Sunrise Yellow. I see brioche for that. And even this green, if you didn't want, you know, if you wanted them to kind of be similar. So that's pretty cool. I've been really having a lot of fun, like, just pairing up yarns together and, you know, seeing what they can do. It's a lot of fun. Purple Poppy and Stormy Night. Love it. So yeah, those are some of the colorways that you can put with some of the tonals. I also think Solstice Twilight would look beautiful with any of these. Like, so good. Oh, I love it with the yellow. It's just great. And the green. So yeah, that is it for what is in the shop. Other than that, I'm just gonna go on to life stuff. So I made a Instagram story yesterday about how I got to drive the manual yesterday again, and I actually drove it around like for a good part of the day, and I didn't cry, and I was so excited because that is huge, because I have been getting so frustrated with that car because I just have not been able to get it, and it just was not sticking with me. And there was also periods of time where I wasn't driving it, so that was actually the bigger problem, was that I would drive it, finally do okay, and then we couldn't get around to practicing it. So I'm really happy it's starting to click. So I want to like do it another time very soon, so that I can keep on keeping on with it. So I'm very happy because I don't like having a car that I can't drive. It feels weird. So I'm happy to gain that life skill, because I feel like that is a life skill that's good to know. So let's see, what else? Oh, Ethan and I, after we were driving the car, we went over to one of our little coffee shops in town called Live Oak, and I got some tea, he got some coffee, and we just kind of sat down and we got out the notebook and just literally talked shop, and just wanted to see what we wanted to do with it this year, where we wanted to go with it. And so we kind of came up with some really neat ideas. So I hope you guys are excited, and stay tuned to see what we have coming up, because I think you guys are really gonna like it and be really excited. So very happy with where the shop is going. And then other than that, tomorrow I am meeting up with a knitty friend. So Lacey, who has the Hooked on Owls podcast, she is a Michigander, and she had found, I think during Vlogmas, she had found my podcast, and then was like, oh my gosh, you're right. She had heard me talking about Frankenmuth, and she was like, you know, figured out where I was from, and saw that we were like, we're not very far away. I'm not quite sure how far away Carol is. I'd say maybe an hour or so, but it's super close. So that's pretty cool. So I was really excited when she said who she was, introduced herself on the podcast and stuff. So I'm very excited. We're gonna be meeting up, and I believe her sister's coming along, and we're gonna go to one of the other coffee shops called The Lock, and it's super cozy and super cute, and I'm so excited. So that's gonna be fun nitty time. And then next week, there will most likely not be a podcast, because I am meeting up with Carrie, who is my wool mitten, who you've heard me talk about plenty of times. She's my co-host for the Mitten Knit Along, and she lives over in Elma, which is about an hour away as well. And I'm gonna go check out her sheep farm. She has a Corriedale sheep farm. So my mom's coming with me, and it's gonna be a blast. And she lives across the street from my cousin, so, which I still think is just the funniest thing ever. So I'm probably gonna go try and see my cousin too. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm gonna bring my spinning wheel, my knitting, and I can't wait. So I'm hoping to get some footage of that, even though her and I were talking, it is, you know, late winter, thinking about early spring, not quite yet, but it's acting like spring right now. It's like 40 degrees out, which is very not normal for January, so it's starting to melt a lot of stuff. So it might be a little bit muddy looking, but I don't care. I think it's gonna be great, and oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So, and I'm sure I'll be back out again where I can, you know, get some footage in like the springtime or summer. So yeah, that's what's up. And then tonight, I keep forgetting to mention this, because it's Monday, our knit night is starting back up again. So I'm going over to one of the ladies from church, her house. She hosts knit night, and that'll be at 7. And yeah, my mother-in-law's gonna come along with me for that, and we're just gonna knit and talk and have fun. So yay, I'm excited. I like when I can make, you know, schedule the knitting time and crafting time to happen, because then I feel like otherwise I go to do it and then I get distracted with something else. So I'm very, very excited. But yeah, so I am gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna edit this podcast. I'm gonna try and edit the vlog. I have a week's worth of vlogging to edit, so I'm hoping to get that up as well. And yeah, we're gonna keep vlogging, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.